Welcome everybody to my new YouTube channel, man. I'm Mike Irvin right here. I like to call this the locker room because the locker room is where men and women, we all come together as a team. We're all looking out for one another. We're all trying to help each other and share with each other for the betterment of each other. So that's what we do right here. We take everything there is out here in the world of sports that lead into life, and we like to talk about it. And I got so many things I want to talk to you guys about. Of course, we're going to start right here, right now. I'm going to start with the Deion Sanders news and Jerry Jones. Of course, I talked to you guys before about Jerry Jones and Mike McCarthy deciding to part ways, which made me tickle my heart. I showed you, my back is getting better. It really is getting better. Because I really did jump, but I wasn't jumping for a man fire. Like I told you, I was jumping for the new direction because the Cowboys, we needed new direction. Look at the excitement around the conversation Jerry had with Deion. And I'm going to tell you something as I'm thinking here. I'm a spiritual man. I do tie everything back to it. Rather, I try to or not, because it's the only way I can move forward and continue to make sense of some of the crazy things that happen in my life. And I'm sure you be saying the same thing. You're saying the same thing sometimes. The crazy things that happen in your life. So you need an anchor to say, okay, this is who I am. This is where I am. I just got to anchor down and move forward, regardless of how the winds are blowing. The winds are always the crazy thing that happens in your life. Woof, woof. And if you let it, it'll keep hitting you one way, this way, that way, every way, and you're off course. Pretty soon, you're trying to walk this way to get to your destination, or what I call your goal, but the winds are like, woof, woof, this, that, woof. Man, you did all the problems. You're no longer even walking straight. You're walking like this. And that's what they mean when they say it took a long time to get to my final destination, because I had to deal with so much mess in my journey, but I'm happy I'm here. That means all the wind kept knocking you off. We gonna be direct, and I just want to be direct. The conversation between Jerry Jones and Deion Sanders. When I first approached this thing weeks ago, people were like, "Oh, you crazy, Michael? What's going on? Oh, Michael, you leave Deion alone. Nobody." Stop. The name of this game, I keep telling you people is about winning and winning championships and a winning program. And every GM, every AD for every school, every GM and pro team, they could look and see what Deion has done and say, I have to consider this. Especially those teams that have been bad for a long time. All of the Vegases, the Jets, and all of those guys. I don't know why they're not looking into it. And Jerry seems to be the only one looking into it. But I'm going to tell you something. That'll be a blessing for Deion in a whole lot of ways. Listen, Deion went to Jackson State, right? They were 4-11, I think, the year before he got there. 2019, 2021, they were the champs. HBCU champs. Not to mention him opening the doors for all of these other athletes that are now coaching, like you just saw Michael Vick and Deshaun Jackson do, coaching back into those small colleges, trying to push life and put life in those places. So he opened a path also. So 4-11, a couple of years later, they were the champs. He started Colorado at 1-11. This year, they made it to a bowl game. And let's not even talk about looking at the numbers and the money that he's brought into that university, because that's another whole thing. And that's way off the chart. I mean, we don't even talk about that. And that is what I'm talking about right there. And people talk about Deion and Jerry. How can they coexist? I think perfectly. I talked to Deion this morning, and we'll tell you. I talked to him this morning, of course, and talked to him last night and this morning. And I'm going to say this. I said, man, Someone else is reporting. Now, you guys have already talked, so I'm not violating anything to get all the way into this. He said, no. It's out there now. It's out there that, yeah, he and Jerry had a talk. And I said, okay, then. Now, where are we with this? He said, it was just a conversation. That's a conversation about, just some pretty surface things. And I don't know two great men that just have conversations about surface things. I just took it because he's my boy. He said surface things, and then he said to me, I'm gonna just say, he said to me, this is all we can go by right now. That's all I can tell you. And I said, okay. And as a reporter, or you call you a journalist, right here, I'm supposed to prod, jump in, try to get you to answer some tough questions. But this is one of my best friend. And I'm not a journalist. I'm just a football player trying to bring you information using the great game you all love to try to help us get through this thing we call life that we trying to love. You know what I'm saying? So I'm cool with all of that. But I ain't got to pry. You see, a reporter has to pry and ask questions to try to ascertain things from the person he's interviewing to come to you with. I don't have to pry because I know him real well. And when he's that quiet, shut up. You see what I'm saying? This is what I'm saying. When he's telling me and he's that quiet, or he's telling me to be that quiet. I said, they ain't said that. But that means something's up. And boy, I am excited about the possibility. And that's what I mean. He just had a conversation with Jerry. And look at how everybody is all up in arms because they see new excitement and new hope. Well, the Bible, boy, tells you something about that hope. That's why people, I'm telling you guys, always have something out in front of you that you want to go and get. Keep something out in front of you that you want to go. That's what it means when it says, and all things have hope. Don't lose hope. Hope says there's something in front of me better than the misery behind me. And if I just keep moving forward, I'm going to come out of it. And that's why hope is so important. I just got a dose of hope. A dose of hope. A change. And the way it transpired, right? Jerry went in with Mike McCarthy, and I thought they were trying to get a deal. They couldn't agree on the length of time for the deal. And I guess Mike thinks he has other opportunities and went on and get other opportunities, and we'll talk about all that, and I'm happy for him. But I'm always reminded of what somebody told me, if you are a champion, every time other people see obstacles, you have to take it as an opportunity. You see, everything that stops one man can't stop you. An obstacle, some see and say, we give up this dream. I see that as an opportunity. And the bigger the obstacle, the bigger the opportunity. Let me tell you what I mean. The next head coach for the Dallas Cowboys has to wear an unbearable cross around his neck, even though he spent no time contributing to that cross that will be hung around his neck. That cross that says, we haven't won a championship in 30 years. 30 years. 30 years. And every day on every radio station, TV station, they're going to be talking about the most popular franchise in the National Football League, the biggest sport in our country, and this is the biggest team in the sport. They can say all they want about the American team losing, American team. Shut up. The most watched team this year was the Dallas Cowboys and the New York Giants on Thanksgiving. I think they put in about 40 millies. About it. Millies. You know what I'm saying? So let me give you some something to that. On Christmas Day, when they gave that $1 billion, whatever they got from Netflix, I think they did about 30. About 30 mil. And LeBron was talking about NBA runs Christmas Day. I think they did about 4 mil. And the NFL did 30. I'm just telling you the major of the NFL. Now, that cross that hangs around the next man's neck that he had nothing to do with, when he bears that thing that says 30 years, you have fallen short. A lot of coaches, I say that's an obstacle. I don't know if I want to go deal with all that pressure. That thing, that owner they call Jerry Jones, oh, he's unbearable. He talks to the media. Oh, that's an obstacle. I don't know if I want to deal with all that. It's obstacles to you, but opportunity to others. Because of all of these things, other people get opportunities that wouldn't probably be considered for those opportunities. Because Mike McCarthy, somebody told him that he should take a deal with the Cowboys. Let's go look elsewhere. If they're not going to give you the security over the long term, I don't know why you think you deserve security over the long term coming off this year. You should have asked for a new contract last year, coming off 12-5, 3 years in a row. Then you were positioned to negotiate from a place of strength. This year, you were negotiating from a place of weakness. And I'm with Jerry. No, dude, you can't come in here barking about what you want. You better be bowing to what we need. I'm going to say that again. You can't come in here barking about what you want. You need to be bowing to what we need. And that's a damn championship that you couldn't handle bearing that cross for 30 years. It was an obstacle. All of that was an obstacle. But because how it all played out, Jerry made that phone call to Deion Sanders. And I don't know if he would have made that phone call as hard as I've been pushing. I don't know if he'd have made that phone call if all of that stuff had been played out right. But now that Jerry loses Mike, he wants to make sure he makes a statement when he brings in someone. Let me tell you how I know. And I always told you, don't listen to what a man says. If you really want to ascertain who that person is, don't just listen to the words. When you listen to how he thinks. The last time Jerry got into anything with Jimmy Johnson, it was Jerry saying, I'll have any coach coach this team and win a Super Bowl. And it sounds like an outlandish statement. An outlandish statement. He said, yeah, even a guy like Barry Switzer, who was not in coaching at the time, who was sitting on his couch at the time. And he got rid of Jimmy. Who do you think he brought in? You know why? Because he brought in Barry Switzer to show he was still fighting with Jimmy. Now, we won the Super Bowl with Barry Switzer. But the point is, understand how the man thinks, how he thinks. He brought in Barry, who hadn't been doing any coaching, trusted him with a great team, and said, prove me right to go win a Super Bowl. It was a year, but he did. In this situation right here, him basically losing Mike McCarthy. Mike McCarthy changed agents, and I guess they negotiated tougher, and him basically losing Mike McCarthy, looking like he lost Mike McCarthy, that's what'll make him swing for something big. And now that we all know he's had a conversation, you can't deliver us a French fry after you have promised us the steak. See, Deion's a steak. What other name out there looks like a steak or something that says, okay, I understand you didn't get Deion. The only person I would say, I understand, okay, you went and got the greatest coach of all time and Bill Belichick. Okay, I understand that. I can dig it. That's the greatest coach. And he may not be what I want him to be off the football field and bring all the flair around the Cowboys, but he's going to give us some discipline. That's my biggest bark. So I'm just saying, if you can't give me Bill Belichick, you can't get a bigger cat than Deion Sanders. So I'm just so happy. I know I got a lot of people want to talk about this. I'm gonna hit it quick. Let's talk about this right now. I'm gonna stop talking because I want to talk to you guys now. He said Deion would come in and eliminate all excuses that come from players. He would get automatic respect every player. And I agree with you, James, on all of this. And see, That's what I have to bark about these guys out here. And when we're doing business out here, talking to these people. And I'm glad you bring this up, James, because, I want to talk about this. James goes on to say, they want to talk bad about Jerry, but Jerry has made multiple Super Bowl caliber teams. I've said this 3 times. Everybody want to give credit to Mike McCarthy, but we went 12-5, 12-5, 12-5. Right. And nowhere else. If you got a good enough team to go 12-5, come on, man. Now this is you. This is you. Why ain't that team good enough when you get into the playoffs? And I already told you my problem with that. I just think the focus it takes when you get in the playoffs, they did not have, because it takes a more focused person, because you're playing the best teams, and that's where they faltered. And even when they faltered, they looked unprepared to play that team. They looked unprepared to play Green Bay last year. Let's stop playing around. Let's stop playing, guys. They looked unprepared. It was a downslide, hit it all the way. Give me Chris Johnson. You got to go up into it. Chris said, Deion will put, what is that? Coaching staff? Epic coaching staff. And Jerry will finally spend money in free agency. And here's the kicker. Here's the kicker to what you're saying there, buddy. You don't have to. Let me tell you how. And that's a great. I should have said that on TV today too. We should bring up the point. This solves 2 issues. Jerry spending money in free agency. You go like, well, you don't want to spend money in free agency. Well, with Deion here, he won't have to spend as much, because guys really want to play for Deion. That'll put him in some of those great what I call, hometown discount areas. You know how many guys want to come and play with Deion? And then the guys that have made enough money that just wants to come and play with Deion will come. So I absolutely believe that's the kind of impact a guy like Deion have all over. That people don't compute when they talk about the value that he brings. Is that Steve Mandel? What impact would Deion have on the player's mentality? And here's the key right here. This I offer up as evidence, Steve. How you doing? That is my agent right there. Same Steve Mandel. But this I offer up, man, because this is important. And I think you got to get great athletes to want to play the game for the game and let the money follow them. You got to, I'm going to say this again, and it's going to sound blasphemous, especially from a brother like me that grew up so broke, but I'm telling you how to have long, sustainable success. You got to play the game for the love of the game, and it's about the game. And understand, if I pour my heart into the game, all that money stuff will follow. I bring you to the stands, Your Honor, if I was Johnny Cochran speaking on behalf of Deion Sanders in this time. I would place on the courtroom table what they call People Exhibit 1, and his name would be Travis Hunter, one of the greatest athletes we've ever seen in college, who just recently won the Heisman Trophy, but came to Jackson State. Didn't think about all the NIL money he can get. Then followed Deion to Colorado. Didn't think about all that NIL money he could get anywhere, writing any check at any time. He stayed motivated, focused, and got the job done. That's the evidence I put on the table in the courtroom for People Exhibit to say this is what we need him to do with everybody on that team. Hey guys, I am so sorry we're having a little bit of an issue here. I know you are waiting for me, and we're going to get it right. Now, you do have to understand on this other side, though, I have promised and swore to take you with me all across this place. Everywhere I go, I got to set up and get the job done. I Can't predict everybody's internet and Wi-Fi and all of that. Sometimes it falls, but I'm going to work diligently and get it back up so I can get back to my peeps. So please be patient. We will be right back. Hey guys, I am so sorry. We're having a little bit of an issue here. I know you are waiting for me, and we're going to get it right. Now, you do have to understand on this other side, though, I have promised and swore to take you with me all across this place. Everywhere I go, I got to set up and get the job done. I can't predict everybody's internet and Wi-Fi and all of that. Sometimes it falls, but I'm going to work diligently and get it back up so I can get back to my peeps. So please be patient. We will be right back. Hey guys, I am so sorry. We're having a little bit of an issue here. I know you are waiting for me, and we're going to get it right. Now, you do have to understand on this other side, though, I have promised and swore to take you with me all across this place. Everywhere I go, I got to set up and get the job done. I can't predict everybody's internet and Wi-Fi and all of that. Sometimes it falls, but I'm going to work diligently and get it back up so I can get back to my peeps. So please be patient. We will be right back. Hey guys, I am so sorry. We're having a little bit of an issue here. I know you are waiting for me, and we're going to get it right. Now, you do have to understand on this other side, though, I have promised and swore to take you with me all across this place. Everywhere I go, I got to set up and get the job done. I can't predict everybody's internet. All right, guys, sorry about that. That's just part of the reality when you're doing what we're doing right here. But they can't keep us apart. Don't sweat that. Just a little technical stuff right there that I'm still learning about. You guys do know that. But back to what we were talking about all the other benefits that people are not throwing in the conversation when we talk about Deion Sanders. And there's just like, Mike Tomlin. Mike Tomlin, I don't think get enough credit for the kind of mentor he is with players. You know, you think about the guys that was in his locker room, the Le'Veon Bell, the Antonio Bryant, all those guys, never had any problem. Never had any problem in the locker room. Their problem was always with the front office people. You know, so because Mike knows how to coach those guys, mentor those guys. I would say Mike Tomlin is like a Deion. These are mentors that are great coaches. And coaches most great coaches want to coach. They're not great mentors. Bill Belichick, a great mentor. He's just a coach. You know, just a coach. They want to get down, talk X's and O's. They don't want to hear about your problems. They just want to hear about how to figure out this damn play. We ain't got nothing to do with your dad being in jail, with what you're going through at home, all of that. You get out of here and make this block. I understand that. Ultimately, I want the results. But unfortunately, we are in a time where you need more mentoring than coaching. In order to coach, you must mentor. Because now players don't have, especially in college, they don't have to stick around and they're not going to lose anything. So that's why it's important to be a mentor. And that's what Deion has done. And this is the way, it's the future. You can't just cut players. You can't threaten them with your level player did. The contracts you're giving them is $30, $40, $50 million guaranteed. You're not going to cut them. You're not going to let them go. You got to pay them that money. So I'm just telling you, when it gets all of these things involved, just like he did with a Travis Hunter, you need somebody that knows how to reach down inside the kids and pull out their king. And it doesn't have to be circulating around a Ben Franklin and a Thomas Jefferson. You hear what I'm saying? I want to play because I love the game. And they always tell you, it trickles down from the top. Well, you know the dude at the top loves the game. You know the dude at the top will love you because that's part of the game. So that's what I'm talking about. And it's time for the Dallas Cowboys to have that change. But do you believe that this is fake? The last Super Bowl, the Cowboys came after signing Deion as a player now, we can sign him as a coach and possibly get another. I absolutely do. Let me tell you why it's funny and you bring that up, James, and I'm going to tell you what I said. And I had already prepared my speech or my thoughts when I do talk to Jerry again. You know, I was in the room. I had just signed my contract. When we had an opportunity to get Deion, the first man Jerry called was me. He said, man, we just signed Deion. I said, yeah, exactly. He said, we got an opportunity, Michael, to sign Deion. He said, now, we're about to put pen and paper to your contract, and I'm cool with what we said. He said, but now to get Deion, we're going to have to overpay. We're going to have to overpay. And he said, I want to ask you and talk to you about it. I said, dude, overpay. Overpay. You know, me, my boy over here, overpay right now. Yeah, overpay right now. And then as I even dug deeper into this, you know, Deion has an $8 million buy. An $8 million buy out of Colorado. To make that happen, that means somebody has to write a check. And I'm already prepared to tell Jerry again, overpay. Do what you got to do. Because right here, we're at a critical junction. Everybody, all they talk every day is 30 years, 30 years, 30 years. I'm so sick of hearing it. We're at a critical junction. And you got to make this be the statement. You got to make a statement. And now that you put it out there that you're talking to Deion, we can't go backwards. Because everything else is going to be anticlimactic. So that's all I'm saying. But boy, I'm telling you, overpay. Absolutely. He's worth every bit of it. Everywhere he's gone, he's made better. And we need this right now. Will you coach the wide receivers for Prime and the boys? Ryan, I'll be out there, but no, I don't have coaching. Deion, it's so funny you ask, because Deion does believe in that. He believes in bringing great players and putting them around his guys all the time. He's about to sign somebody, another one. I can't say it to him yet. I can't say it. They got to announce it. But he'll bring in another one. And I'm going to tell you something. This dude here was a great player. Smart, one of the smartest guys I've ever been around. And he is just, and any player getting a chance to get coached by him, it's going to be blessed. So no, I don't know if I'm going to coach the staff. I will give you this one because this is the locker room. Deion did try to get me to come to Colorado. When all of that stuff went down at the Super Bowl, and with the thing at Marriott, and I went through all of that, talking to him, and I was pretty beat up by it all. And he said to me, he said, man, it was time, man. Just come on, let's do what we do on the field, And I was going to visit him because I told him I need to come and get encouraged. I'm just feeling down. He said, come on, man. And then he did ask me, talk to me about coaching out there. And, for me, leaving Miami, out in the cold, to go coach Colorado, that'll be so. But in Dallas, that'll be fine. Ain't no problem with that. You know what I'm saying? I can't give up my mind and dad to go coach in Colorado, but I ain't giving up no bad if it's here in Dallas. And yeah, you know what I'm saying. All that knowledge on the football field, I just love it. But there's certain things, I'm going to tell you what, there's certain things the greats know that even the people, I'm not saying the coaches or the guys that write about it don't know. And I still argue with people all the time. Catch the ball in your hand. Stop saying that. There's times you need to catch the ball on your body. How do I know that? Because I tried that and got my ass popped plenty of times. Ball flip-flop everywhere. So it sounds good in theory, but in actuality and reality, you're going to get killed and you're going to fumble. Your team will lose. So I'm at crucial times, you'll see me putting that ball on my chest. Because I'm trying to make sure when I catch it on third slant down, I'm catch it in my chest. Because as soon as I catch it, if you hit me, boom, I got it. You may knock my ass out, but I'm gonna still be on the cart, on the little gurney. They take on me like burn down, and they take me out because I caught that mother. Now, if I put it in my hands and I get hit like that, boom, the ball in the air. Not only am I knocked out sleep, somebody else going with the ball and scoring a touchdown. And you trying to do it because that's what the book said. If the dude that wrote the book didn't win the championship like I did, that's the part that tripped me out. So some things have knowledge beyond even great coaches, since they didn't go that deep. And most of the time, great players don't have the patience to go through the winding road to get to coaching in the NFL. Deion to bring some of those great players in. I'm excited about that, man. So that's all I can tell you is a bunch of nothing. That's a long bunch of nothing, though, because I'm intimating as I read. Like I told you, when he tells me, can't say anything, that tells me everything because I know how hard it is for him not to talk. Now, I don't want to jump out of the program and get right to college football because there's some things I know I said, boy, college games are pretty good. You can say what you want. I know I talked about it, but I can't wait to see this Ohio State and Notre Dame game because I just want to, that's going to be a battle up front. I don't know how Notre Dame going to maintain. Well, yeah, let me say, Ohio State's supposed to be the best college team out there, right? And I told you guys about Kirk Herbstreit and all that. I just was dying the way he was announcing the game. But I want to see this game. I want to see Notre Dame and Ohio State with everything on the line. You know, Ryan Day and losing to Michigan, this is a big okay, because they were talking about getting his butt up out. They were talking about getting his butt up out. And Mark Freeman on the other side, he's got all kind of opportunities out here. They're talking about bringing him in to get coached, get interviewed for the Chicago job. So this game here, think about it. All that comes off of this game, all of them. How these games matter and how they change lives. You know what I mean? So I'm looking forward to that game. The game, my boy, my chef, RJ Salsa Balls, he was trying to get me to go out to that game. I was like, man, I ain't going to Ohio State, man. Miami was there, but I could be showing up for Ohio State. But I don't even know. I've had issues with both of these teams. I don't even know who I'm pulling for in that game, but we'll talk about it as we come closer to that. Let's go over right fast, guys, what we just saw in the wild card round. I thought that was interesting. You see how that all played out. You saw, well, we'll start with the latter game first. And that was the Rams beating the Vikings last night. You guys saw that, right? Stafford only threw 209 yards and 2 TDs. Sam Darnold threw 245 yards, 1 TD, 1 interception. He was sacked 9 times. The whole conversation around this game, the Rams beating him 27-9 like that, is around Sam Darnold now. And how much money did he lose in that game? Because he makes about $10 million right now, and his deal is up, his contract up. It's a 1-year deal. And I want people to understand, like guys like Sam Darnold, and you see team guys that move around and have the kind of year Sam Darnold had. Sam had a year, Sam Darnold, because Minnesota, teams like Rams, see, their head coaches is scheming up plays to confuse you, not to beat you. When I say scheme beating scheme, they're scheming up plays to confuse you. It's never a one-on-one battle. So if it's a man versus man coverage, and you saying, let's go, oh, we'll see it. Let's go, chump. Let's go, me and you one-on-one. Yes, okay, it's me and you one-on-one. But Sean McVay or Kevin O'Connell, they're going to design every route that dude runs. He's going to be running like through a maze, crossing routes. So you're not just covering him. You got to cover him, run a bubble over him. You know what I mean? So they're beating you with schemes. If you got 2 guys over here, they want to run 3 guys, or they'll flood an area. One man short, another man in the middle, third man over the top, but only 2 men over there. You know, a safety in the corner because they're covered 2. That's flooding the zone, things like that. That's scheme beating scheme. Scheme beating scheme. And these offenses are offenses where they got scheme beating scheme. But every time you get in a game, sometimes it's certainly before you get that trophy, hold it up in your hand, you're going to have to come out of that scheme beating scheme, and you got to get down nitty gritty with man beating man. Dude, I got to show you I'm better than you. You know, now to me, that's all we played. That's all. We didn't run a lot of crossers and all of that stuff. I ran 2 routes, slant route, 3 route, out route, 4 route, deep in, 5 route, deep out, 6 route, deep curl. It's me and you, one-on-one. That was the old NFL. Me and you, I got to beat you, but now they don't do that. But here, with the Minnesota Vikings, they said we're going to take out Justin Jefferson. And we're going to focus on everybody else and see if they can beat us man versus man. So they covered him with 2 guys, and then they were physical with everybody else on the line of scrimmage all season long to a 14-2 record. To that 14-win season, what you have done, you keep beating people with scheme. And now the last 2 teams got real physical with you. They said, no. We're going to take out the top guy. Detroit said, we're going to take out Justin Jefferson, and we're going to get physical and make your guys beat us man versus man, and you can't do it. And the Rams picked up the same thing, and they fed you the same meal. Until you swallow, digest this meal, and don't throw it back up, they going to keep feeding it to you. But now, if Sam Darnold lose money, I say, I understand the gist that he may not sign back with Minnesota. Maybe if he had won a playoff game, he'll go get a 3-year, $120, $130 million deal. But I do believe that Sam is still viable. He made 10 this year. He can make 20 next year. Certainly 2025. That's a lot of money. Because I'm looking at, since Sam Darnold over there to Pittsburgh, a big fella, now he doesn't have to worry about a scheme beating schemes. When you run those schemes beating schemes offense, it's really playing football shoulders up. You're trying to discern. That's why Brock Purdy, think of Brock Purdy. That's why he's so good in San Francisco. He was like, he can't throw the ball that hard. He can't, not strong, but he's real good at calculating, discerning it, and then deciphering it and getting it in the hands of playmakers. You can see that. But now, if you tell him we're going to run some one-on-one, man versus man, that's a different thing. But Sam Darnold in that scheme thinks a little bit too much. Detroit game, he was throwing the ball high. And the Rams game, he just went on, held on to the ball and took 9 sacks. About half of them he took. So I do believe there's still hope for Sam Darnold. Send him to Pittsburgh, where they're going to run the football and ask him to just throw the ball every now and then. And I guarantee you he'll have a great career right there in Pittsburgh. I would take him over. Yeah, I would take him over Russell Wilson, Aaron Rodgers, any one of those other things that they got out there right now. Now, the other game people talked about a lot this past weekend was the Commanders beating the Buccaneers, and just the way they beat them. You know, Jaden Daniels had 268 yards, 2 TDs, and 36 rush yards. Mike Evans again. I want to give him credit before we jump into any of this. Baker only threw 485 yards. Mike Evans, 7 receptions, 92 yards TD. It was a good game. This was a good game. Back and forth this game with Baker, Mayfield, Mike Evans, they wouldn't give it up. But that dude, Jaden Daniels, and that team, the Commanders, I told you they are on a run. And what you want to see is the growth. Preseason, regular season, playoffs. Each step I've seen grow. You want to make sure that, go back and look at the first time he played Tampa Bay. And he said, I'm not the same dude. I want you guys to know that I'm not the same dude. When Tampa came right back in and showed him he's not the same dude. And Jaden Daniels, I'm telling you, that kid is way beyond his years. And a lot of times when he dropped, it looked like they had him. It looked like they had him, and he would just slip and get a first down. I'm telling you, he reminded me so much of Patrick Mahomes. So much of Patrick Mahomes. It don't look like he's doing a whole lot, but when you look up, you are damaged heavily. Man, I can't wait to watch that game with the Commanders in Detroit, that next game. But boy, the Commanders, they do look good, man. I'm happy for them. I just got to figure out who we bringing in here with Dallas, because right now you got to look at that dude, Jake Daniels, for at least the next 10 to 15 years. Whoever you are, be prepared to see that monster and beat that monster. Or you're going to be pouring out of here too. That's the truth for who's ever coming in as the Cowboys coach. Eagles beat the Packers 22-10. It wasn't even a game. I mean, Jalen Hurts, he had missed a couple weeks with the concussion, and he was a little rusty. Saquon Barkley rushed for 119 yards. There's a couple things with Saquon that I want to talk about. He rushed for 119 yards. Jordan Love just 212 yards, but he threw 3 interceptions. And Jordan Love has regressed. I remember being on Colin Cowherd last year, and they said, did he find their quarterback? I said, absolutely, they found their quarterback. And I said, when you see him, he looks like Aaron Rodgers sometimes. Man, you know how he just dropped that ball off. He looks like Aaron Rodgers. But these last few weeks, you know what? I've seen Brett Favre in him. I mean, God, you're trying to take too much all the time. They got crossers, right? They have crossers. An immediate crosser, and right behind it, a deep crosser. The dude, every time I'm watching him, Jordan Love, the immediate crosser, wide open. He's still trying to get in the deep crosser. And even the linebacker who should be running up on the intermediate crosser sits back. He's like, I'm not even biting on him because I know he's going to try for the big ball, and then he goes and intercepts the deep cross. He baits him. And he threw 3 interceptions, and a couple were like, I'm like, dude, take what the game gives you. That's what makes James Daniels so special. When I tell you, like, he looks like Patrick Mahomes. He just boop, he gets a first down. He's not thinking touchdown. He thinks first down. Great quarterbacks think first downs and touchdown will come. Jordan Love, you got to get your head back right, man. I know you got a lot of money. You got the bag, but it's holding you down right now. Interesting part on the Eagles part, I want to hit the Saquon Barkley 25 for 119. Could have had 180 yards because they had left about a 60-yarder, 70-yarder on the field when he just, to end the game, broke out wide open, had 70 yards in front of him, and then just slid down. I thought that was interesting because I thought, first of all, the reason I said I wanted him to go for the rushing record in week 18 was to exercise his demon. The demon that has dogged his whole career was the fact that those injuries kept bugging you. You couldn't have the career you want in old New York, big old New York. Those injuries just dogged you. And then you got an opportunity to set your history, to write your history. I was the baddest running back in the world, even though I got injured a lot my first 3 years. That wasn't my story because the first year I was healthy, I broke the single season rushing record. You see, that's how you exercise that damn demon. But you didn't. And I'm going to do what the coach, I'm going to do what the team wants me to do. But I need you to do. But Jimmy Johnson would always tell us, you do will bring the best out of you. And if you could have put that injury devil to rest and not let him haunt you all the rest of your career, but you didn't take the chance. And what did he say? Because I told you about it, I said this before. What did he say when they asked? Why didn't you run all the way and get that touchdown? You could have ran. Why did you just slid? Why did you leave the 50, 60 yards on the field? You know what he said? Well, yeah, there's a lot of things can happen at 60 yards. I mean, I could pull a hamstring, get hurt, somebody get hurt blocking. And right now, we already won the game. It was important. So a lot of people sit back and say, man, what a selfless player that he is. Man, that's great. What class and all of that stuff. I sit back and say ass on all of that stuff. You call that class, I call that ass. That means that devil is still chasing you. You just want a playoff game to rush for over 2,000 yards, and all in your mind is I can't sprint these next 60 yards that I got free because I don't pull a hamstring because they dogged you your whole years in New York. Saquon, exercise that demon. He has no bearing over you, brother. That's why you got to play the game, not just shoulders down with all that great skill and talent, but also shoulders up, making sure you knock down all challenges all the time. And you will have a pretty good challenge against the Rams this week. Boy, y'all said the Bills beat the Broncos. Bills beat the Broncos. Josh Allen did his thing again, 272 yards. We're going to find out pretty soon, the MVP. But now, with him playing the way he's playing, Josh Allen, in Cook, Dan Cook coming up with 120 yards, yeah, that team will be real tough to beat. But Denver started out great. That first drive, went down and scored a touchdown. So, old boy in it, but then that thing fell off, and Buffalo took over. You know what I mean? Took over. Guys, so the Bills beating the Broncos. Everybody right now is talking and waiting for this game. I say the football gods are so great to us. They put up Lamar Jackson and Josh Allen. Broncos for Josh Allen. That's a very good defense. And the Steelers for Lamar Jackson, who's supposed to be a very good defense. And we got to see the importance that they bear towards an MVP playing these two teams. Lamar was able to turn that ball over with Derrick Henry and let him destroy Pittsburgh Steelers, which surprised me, while Josh Allen had to continue doing what he does. And that's why I say he was my MVP. But we'll get a chance to see these games right here this weekend to see MVP versus MVP. Baltimore going to Buffalo, and that's going to be an incredible game. I can't wait to watch that. Those two quarterbacks playing that game is going to be insane. That Rams and Eagles game, the Rams have a chance because they have the offense, and the Eagles' offense didn't look right. But let me tell you something. Dude, I was looking it up. I think it was 6-7 players they have from Georgia on that Eagles defense. And I know they lost Nicole Dean, who's a great linebacker. Dude, that defense for the Eagles, they are not playing around. This was number one defense in stopping big plays. And I don't know that the Rams can matriculate the ball down the field like that. Just keep taking and making just small plays with no mistakes. If you don't give them the big play. And that's what the Eagles took away. Now, Green Bay didn't even have the big play because they didn't have Christian Watson. But the Rams, they live on the big play. They're going to want to go and make plays up the field. And that's Matthew Stafford. He loves to throw the ball in the field. So that's going to be a good thing. I can't even tell you what I expect to win these games right now because I got to see what transpires the rest of this week to try to figure this out as we go through it. Because any little thing makes a big thing when we get down to this side right here. Now, what the other matchup I want to go? All matchups. What did we talk about? Go back up. Let me see the matchups here. That's the one, the Texans Chiefs. Guys, let me tell you, the Texans Chiefs. If he had his guys, I would wonder if he would have an opportunity here. I got to put together a little get it together speech, and I'm going to try to encourage the Texans, and I'm going to talk to them about understanding the opportunity. Remember what I was just telling you guys about how greatness, you must see obstacles as opportunity. This is what they must do right here. They have to see this obstacle as a great opportunity and make things happen. Oh my God. Imagine second-year defensive head coach DeMeco Ryans knocking off one of the greatest NFL coaches of all time and on his way to a three-peat at this time, Andy Reid. And then a second-year quarterback, C.J. Stroud, who lost all of his receivers this year at one point. And some of them have not even come back, lost some more in the last game, find a way to knock off Patrick Mahomes one of the greatest. The only guy, as soon as you end with the Y in Brady, you better start with the P in Patrick. That's how close he is to becoming the greatest. That's how close he's right behind the man we call the greatest. And imagine those two young second-year guys knocking off those two who bigger than life guys. That's a hell of an opportunity. You can't look at it as an obstacle. I just don't think it'll happen at all because, I will see with Texas. They got to go outside, too. It's going to be cold. It's going to be cold. Let's get back to this. Bill talking. Bill, what you say? You should live stream. You're watching the playoff game. YouTube series, Playmaker. That's a pretty cool idea right there. And just talk through the game. I'm going to have to consider that. I'm meeting with Gene. Gene was supposed to be out here. Gene on the other side right now. He was supposed to be out here. We were going to talk about things like that. That's a good idea, Gene. You know what I mean? We should sometimes just do that. And maybe, certainly, if not all games, pick up maybe, a couple Cowboys big games and they're from sending live stream. We'll have to think through that. But you guys do that too for me, please. Send in some of those suggestions. And let's have some fun with it. I'm going to tell you something. My guy, Jared, at Funtown, right? I told you, I got my own RV. I'm getting on the road. I'm riding the towns, man. We're going to hit towns, man. We're gonna sit and talk or whatever. You guys tell me what to do. And then I'm going to hit the city. I'm going to have me a Playmaker bus, a Playmaker whatever, hit town. It'll be fun. I'm telling you, I can't wait. I can't wait to do that. So I'm planning to do that. So Gene was coming here. Let me be real. Gene was going to come, and we were going to be talking about all of that stuff. Of course, you guys know what's going on out here with all the fires and everything and the problems that happened. So we pushed back that opportunity and that meeting. And I'll actually probably see him next week in Miami. And we'll get back to talking about all of that. So you guys make sure you're sending in some thoughts. Because I do want to get out and come out and see people. That's the fun part about all of this, getting out and talking with people here. It's something I want to. This is all script. It's all scripted. I just want to bring this up because I saw it somewhere and I said, "Stop! Don't do that." And it all happened. This new thing I saw them talking about possibly changing the playoff format. Not having divisional winners, and only having top four teams having top four spots. I don't like that. I don't like it. Because what does it do? It doesn't put us in weekly race. The weekly race is when you get these divisions, now my short-term goal is win the division. My long-term goal is win the comp. My short-term goal, let me explain to you as a businessman. Every week when I meet with my financial people and people that I work with and people that put things together for me, we think on three levels. We sit down, we write, 1 year plan, 3-year plan, 10-year plan. In every meeting, we go over what we need to do to make the 1-year plan come to fruition right now. The actions that need to be taken. And on the 1-year plan, you need action daily. Because the time. Action daily. 3-year plan, I'm going to be checking with it, but it's a little farther off. The 10-year plan is way off. And usually I play the 10-year plan with my aggressive growth money. That means if I got 100% pie, I can live off, let's just play with my numbers, 88% of my pie, of my financial pie. I take that 12% and throw it in aggressive growth. So if I lose it, I don't hurt. But if I come up, I come up. You see what I mean? So I try to think in that term, that 1, 3, 10, and we should work all those things and work in those terms. But as we get back, I want to tell you this. We should think about the things that we are going to be doing this whole season and having fun doing it. Can't wait. That's the quick plan. That's the quick plan. But right now, let me fix that. Like, okay, the playoffs. They want to change that format. And now we become, I don't have division winners, so we don't have division games. All year, it's just games playing all around. You lose the rivalries, all of it. I'm like, let's keep it like it is. Because we get what the NBA is trying to do is create an in-season tournament. That's called in-season interest. Something that makes you buy in season. They're creating it. The NFL has it. Don't mess with it. Leave it alone. I just want to make sure I say that. Leave it alone. Let the tradition ride, baby. And I don't care about a 14-2 team going on the road. The 14-2 team, you're saying this like the 14-2 team was better than the Rams, who they went to go play. Or 14-3 team, I'm sorry. But that's not true. They lost the game. So it works out, it plays out, and it usually always works out that way. Guys, listen, I had a great time, man. I'm over talking here because I'm so excited. I told you guys, I'm just, I'm so excited, but and the opportunity to talk to you in the locker room, and to bring you information about Deion and all of that stuff, man. Stay tuned. This thing may be moving. I don't know what direction it's going to move in. I really don't know. But I think God knows I went through enough pain in 2024 with the season the Cowboys have had. And usually when he takes you so far down, that's just to stabilize you because he has so far for you to go up. He has to take you equally down so you can get your way up and nobody can knock you over. So I know we went down last year, but with Deion Sanders coming in, we're about to go way up. And I'm talking about in every category. Can y'all imagine? You think they talk about the Dallas Cowboys all the time now. It's going to be insane if God so blesses us with that gift. Guys, I appreciate you taking this moment right here, man. And I can't wait to see what happens 7 days from now when we sit and chat and talk again. Maybe we've had some great news about the direction of the Dallas Cowboys and of Jerry, of Deion Sanders, and what they're planning on doing. But I'm going to tell you this too. Next week, we're going to pull out. And Gene, Nathan, let's do this. Let's pull out a foot and we're going to direct it towards this topic. Pull out a directed 30 minutes where we are just talking. Whatever you guys want to talk about. I'm not directing a corner. I'm not going to say, let's go here and talk about that. We're just going, I want to say whatever topic, whatever question, whatever thing you got out of on your mind, let's just talk. We'll do that next week right here in the locker room, man. I'll see you. And in these next 7 days, guys, be blessed. I want to pray that God gives you great protection and also great direction, and then direct you right back here to the locker room next week. Same bad channel. Same bad time. God bless my people.